Joining us now are members of the Midwestern State University Mustangs. In the center of our podium is head coach Noel Johnson. On the far side, to Coach Johnson's right, is Kirsti Degelia. Kirsti is a 5'8" senior from Denton. On the near side of the podium is Andrea Carter. Andrea is a 5'10" junior from Angleton. Coach, I don't know what to ask about the game other than just to say, wow. Your impressions on probably a tough loss, but an outstanding ball game.
What a great rivalry. You know, this is one of those games where it was just nip and tuck and you just had to grind it out, and it was going to come down to who was going to execute down the stretch. It was going to come down to a rebound. You know, credit to West Texas. Shantika White had a great game. Casey Lynn had a great game. You know, I felt like we had a great game plan going in. We were looking for opportunities to drive and create, and these young ladies followed it to a T. They did a great job of attacking. There was no hesitation about us. If you would ask me yesterday that, you know, do you think you'll go 8 of 20 of the three-point line, I would have said no, because of how we shot yesterday. So the way we responded from yesterday's game and really was aggressive with the basketball, I'm really proud of these young ladies.
Talk about the play, if you would, Coach, of Andrea. She and Sean White just went toe-to-toe throughout the game.
Yes. You know, Andrea is such a dynamic player. She has such a knack to create as a forward, and with the guard skills that she has, and you know, 29 points and 12 rebounds. I think this may be her 13th or 14th double-double. I'm unclear on that for sure, but she's one of the reasons why we continue to grind away at West Texas, and we designed some plays for her to get some looks, and she converted on those. I'm very proud of her.
Kirsti, I know the final totals on your line score aren't what we're accustomed to seeing, but you still made contributions. Tell us the game from your perspective.
Honestly, it was a great game. Both teams fought hard. It was devastating at the end because we went as hard as we could and tried our best, but I couldn't be more proud of how hard this team fought.
Andrea, your impressions of the game?
Similar to Kirsti's, we just gave our all, and I'm really proud of the team, how we came together and stopped their runs, and then we went through adversities and came up a little short.
Questions for the Mustangs? Coach, I'm going to start off again. Early in the game, Diana Jones gets 2 fouls quick, has to go to the bench, but the way your team responded to that, it wasn't the loss that you might have anticipated.
Janae McJunkins is doing a fabulous job of being a spark for us in that point guard position coming off the bench, and I have no doubt in my mind. Our depth in the guard right now is struggling, obviously, with Lisa Hampton going down yesterday with her nasty fall. Janae's doing just a great job, and she has confidence in that role. And then she creates more of a defensive presence for us by being in that point guard position to be able to deny the ball, as y'all saw today, that we really wanted to face guard and make it hard for them to get the ball in.
Questions?
25 points from your bench. I mean, you really worked your bench and were making the substitutions. I mean, was this a taxing game for you as a coach where you really felt like you had to coach?
Well, not really. I mean, every game's taxing. You saw me yesterday. I think it was more of a keeping legs fresh, and then also Katie Brown was a huge factor in our defensive plan because of her strength with Shantika. You know, and it's tough playing 2 games in a row, and we were planning on playing the 3rd game tomorrow, so I wanted to try to keep everybody as fresh as I could. I felt like we ran out of gas a little bit down the stretch in the overtime, and we stalled offensively, and because I didn't sub like I should have down the stretch.
It seemed like maybe for a while you guys are going with a pretty small lineup out there. Was that something that sort of helped you on offense but might have hurt a little bit on defense?
I think so. You know, when you look at Shantika, she had 32 points. She had a great night. She's gonna try to. They run a lot of stuff to her, and I was just trying to keep some strength in there in the paint to where she wasn't able to get the position on her, and so that's kind of what was my mentality was going in with that.
Any more questions for the Mustangs?
Y'all are easy.
How confident do you guys feel going forward about Sunday and finding out where you are?
You know, you just never know. If the only thing I could control was what happened out there, so you never know. I know there's been some upsets today, so it'll be interesting to see what is decided in the next 24 hours. So.
Coach, is there any one thing that you see between the two teams that produces just great games consistently when you guys meet?
I think number one, the schools have a very intense rivalry, especially with this 287 Cup now. I think last year plays into it a lot because they, you know, West Texas is pretty motivated. They didn't get into regionals. But I think there's always going to be a little bit of a rivalry, no matter what sport it is, West Texas and Midwestern. So it's fun to watch as you see it creates such an atmosphere for college basketball, especially on the women's side, because of that.